Hey everyone, how are you all doing today? Thanks for joining today's video. So one of the main points or scenes from episode 7 that I remember very vividly was Vader's helmet. It was all burnt and charred and melted and deformed. And it sat in Kylo's room or meditation area or whatever it was, his chambers, and he spoke to it, where he told the mask, show me again the way of the darkness, which of course will spiral us to another theory that I'd like to cover in another video regarding how Kylo actually spoke to Vader's helmet in the first place, and if Vader actually spoke to him ever. As he says, show me again. Meaning that there was some time previous to this. But that's neither here nor there in today's video. Today's video is about my theory regarding how exactly Kylo got Vader's helmet. As we know, it was left on the forest moon of Endor once the Death Star exploded. Luke took Vader's suit there and burned the body. Now, before we continue, because I know so many people are asking this, and I've actually made literally 3 videos on this, Anakin becomes a Force ghost at the very last second in Legends. Well, it's hard for me to say Legends because this is from the actual book, The Rise and Fall of Darth Vader. So it falls in a weird place. I mean, you can either accept it or you can't. It's really up to you, but it just makes sense to me, so I'm going to explain it. In that book, there is a short dialogue scene between Anakin and Obi-Wan just as he's about to die, just before he dies, literally on his last breath. And Obi-Wan is imploring him to quickly turn to the light and let go of all of his hatred and everything, and to trust him, and that way he can live on in the Force in the Netherworld and become a Force ghost, which is what we saw. And so, of course, Anakin does it within an instant, and that's how he becomes a Force ghost. So, how does the suit go from being flamed and melted on the forest moon of Endor from Luke at the end of Return of the Jedi, then something like 25-30 years later in The Force Awakens, Kylo has possession of it and he's talking to it as if it's talked to him before? Well, coming across this old concept art from The Force Awakens, we see Luke Skywalker actually holding the helmet, the burnt and charred helmet of his father. So, my theory is that Luke actually had this helmet in his possession this entire time. He took it with him to his temple when he started his new Jedi Order, and once Kylo turned rogue, once Snoke took a hold of his mind and Luke went to go kill him in his sleep, he ransacked the entire Jedi Temple that Luke had created, and then he also took with him a few things, obviously, that he wanted. So along the way, maybe, like a candy bar or something, and of course, Vader's helmet. So while a lot of us have speculated that maybe, he went and got it from the Ewoks that collected it on the forest moon of Endor or something like that, no. I think this whole time, according to this right here, concept art, Luke Skywalker himself had his father's helmet, and it would make sense for him to take that with him. So this is the most canon explanation that we have. We really have nothing so far, but I hope one day they'll explain it. But this is really the most canon explanation that we have so far today in the Force Awakens concept art for the art of The Force Awakens. Now, what also leads me to believe this is more believable is the fact that a lot of the concept art from the Episode 7 book and movie is actually going to be taking place, I believe, in Episode 9. Well, I mean, we've seen some of it ourselves already. We've seen the Death Star, and in here we see someone diving down into the depths of the ocean to the Death Star, to the throne. So there are just a lot of little things here that are coming to play, such as, like Anakin returning and being this Force ghost that, as I explained in yesterday's video, when you light a candle, you also get the shadow as well, which they explained. So I'm just hoping that, Anakin will come back as well. And I think all of the things that they missed out on or they didn't put in Episode 7 but drew for the original concept art for ideas of where they could start the film will be put into the 9th installment, the final film that will cap the Skywalker saga off entirely. So let me know what you think. Do you guys think Luke had possession of Vader's helmet this entire time? It would completely make sense, and judging by this canon concept art, well, I don't know if I can say canon concept art, but this concept art for The Force Awakens, I would say that this is obviously a thought that they were mulling over to have a scene of, with Luke going over the helmet and maybe talking to it, kind of like a Shakespearean sort of thing. You never know. Then Kylo would have taken it during the ransacking of the temple and tried to talk to it. Now, as for who was talking to him, whether it was Vader or not, it is possible, but it could also be possible that Snoke was just tricking him the entire time and making it seem like he was really speaking to Vader. So I want to hear your theories down below. Hope you all enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did, and I'll catch you in the next one. Until then, remember, the Force will be with you, always.
Now, fulfill your this day.